My name is Oshun, and on this channel, we uncover the creepiest, most unusual haunted TikToks the internet has to offer. Please do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe for your weekly dose of supernatural coming to you every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. Today's video I'm so excited about because it is kids talking about their past lives. So whether you believe it or not, things happen. Let's jump into this video.
How many kids do you have?
4.
You have 3?
I have 4.
How?
You, Legacy, Lolo, and Adrian.
But you don't have 4 kids.
Why?
Oh,
Why not?
you just don't, because I don't live with you.
Where do you live?
In Sand Springs.
In Sand Springs?
Yep.
With who?
Your grandfather.
Well, when you go to bed, you're here. So, you live with me.
Because I stayed the night.
You stayed the night with me?
Yeah, I stayed the night every night.
Where?
At your house. Because my grandfather died.
When did your grandfather die?
Well, since our house is bleeding everywhere, inside of it. Remember, whenever our house is on the street, remember, on the street?
Your house on the street bleeds?
No, my house. My mom. She climbed up it. She turned into a monster. And she died. So now she's dead.
Your mom's dead?
Yeah. My grandfather and my mom. So now I live with you.
What's your name?
Angelie. Angelie Gracie died.
Who's Angelie?
Me. That's why you have 3 kids.
My son has always talked about reincarnation since he was like 4, and I didn't think to catch it on video until recently when he was really sad. He's also told me, when I die, I don't want a new mommy, it makes me sad. And I was just like, I don't know how to take that.
You go to a baby, a kid, go to the grown up, go to grandma, die. We cycle.
How do you know?
It's just what's work.
How do you know?
My brain just teach me that. Because you don't really change to any dog or nothing.
You don't change to what?
You don't change to animals.
You don't change to animals?
Yeah.
That's good. So just humans over and over again?
Yeah.
What?
How about a girl? I don't know how to be a girl.
You're a boy right now.
But if I die, I turn to a girl or still a boy.
Why do you think you turn into a girl?
That's how life works. You die, then you turn to a girl or a boy again.
How'd you learn that? Was it on a show or on YouTube?
Why would that be on YouTube? That all of them would not subscribe.
How'd you figure that out?
Because of my dreams.
Because of your dreams?
Yes.
You're a very smart kid.
Hi guys, this is an amazing story about a child that remembers being part of the Twin Towers. Have a quick look and let me know if you've had any of these experiences yourself.
Conversations with adults. It was around the age of 3 that Kate started talking about that he remembers dying. Could he have been? Could it be? Could he have been in the World Trade Center? But there was a huge part of me that said, wait a minute, that can't be. It can't be.
It doesn't show him anything. There's no way he could have known about it. It was before school. It was before preschool.
No one in my family knows anyone involved in the World Trade Center, and he's never been to New York. I noted it, but I never thought anything of it.
There's so much more to this, so interesting. So check it out on YouTube and comment below if you've had anything like this in your
Just thinking about that time that Juliana started telling us all about past life stuff, and she sat us down one day. She was only like 4, and she's sitting on the couch with me, and she's like, Mommy, I have to tell you, I had another daddy before. And she was telling us all this weird stuff, and at first I was like, what the heck? But then certain things she was saying were making sense, and I was Googling and finding things out, and I started thinking, Hank, okay, so she was saying Hank and Susie. I pulled up this Hank and Susie. I'm looking up Hank, all this stuff. Anyway, so I was like, Hank Williams Sr., I think, is like what this is leading to. So she was nowhere near. And I put on some music in the kitchen, and I put on a Hank Williams song, and she comes into the kitchen and her face turns completely white, and she just like looked like her belly just like slumped, and she goes, that's my papa singing. I swear, I think that has to be the craziest thing ever, because out of all the crazy things she's told us, how would she know that? Like, how would she know that that was Hank Williams? And then to say that's my papa singing, like just the way that she said it, and her reaction was like just so in like a gut reaction, you know? So weird. Oh my gosh, so weird.
I died yesterday, but I'm still alive.
You died yesterday?
Yeah, because I was really old because I died.
Oh, you died because you were old?
Yep.
Oh.
Because that was from yesterday, but I'm still alive.
That's good.
Because you're my new friend.
I'm your new friend?
Yep. You're my mom.
Yeah, I'm your mommy.
You're my new mom.
Yo, that 6-year-old, I think he was probably some type of construction worker. Unfortunately, construction workers, they have many accidents on construction sites. So I wouldn't put it past him that he was a construction worker. But the first video, I believe baby girl was she admitted to her mother. She was telling her mother, like, no, you're wrong. You have 3 kids, not 4 kids. She was like, and I'm going to tell you why you have 3 kids and not 4 kids. And the chick that was below, I don't know if you could read it. She was like dropping gems a little bit. And she was talking about the researcher who wrote some books on over 2,000 cases of children who remember their past lives. So I want to look into that because I think that would be very interesting. But children are a lot smarter than they get credit for. I will say that they're pretty intelligent, emotionally intelligent, and mentally intelligent. They have little intelligence in them, and so we should give them more credit at times. And so he said he died yesterday. The other little boy, he said he died yesterday, and now he's still alive, and that she was his new mommy. How would you feel if your children came to you like that? Like, has any of your children ever talked to you about past lives? Let me know in the comments. I keep trying to remember back when my son was younger, and but I don't recall him. Like, I think he could see certain things that I couldn't see, but I don't recall him ever talking about no past life story. I would definitely remember that. But next video.
So I know I have told this story.
The world will begin again.
Uh-huh. What else did you say?
Other people will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Well, what was the other part?
What other part?
About everybody dying? What were you saying?
More people will come on the earth.
Okay. Why did you think that?
Because it's what the world begins like.
Oh.
When I die,
Uh-huh.
I will come back and I'll be a baby and I'll have a different name.
Okay.
And you'll have a different.
Okay.
So that's what I
Okay, thanks, Pig. Okay.
What are you talking about, baby?
The river makes us pass away.
Okay, so watching this video sparked a memory, and I'm going to try to tell this story without getting emotional, but I honestly don't think that will be possible. 2 years ago, when my 5-year-old was 3, I was standing in our kitchen cooking. I was cooking something. And the kids were being really hyper, so I asked Alexa to play like classical music or like new age music to calm them down. And my youngest, who was 3 at the time, walks out of my room and sits on the island stools that we had. And she goes, "I'm so happy to see you again." I thought she was joking, so I go, "Oh yeah, because we haven't seen each other in so long." And she says, "Yeah, because it took me a long time to come back here." And then me again, thinking that she was just joking, I slightly turn and say, "Oh yeah, where were you, grocery shopping?" And then she says, "No, to be alive." And I say, "What?" And she says, "We died." And I immediately realized what she was talking about, and every single hair in my body stood up. So I turned to her and I said, "We died?" And she says, "Yes. My name was Francesca and your name was Anne. Only you were my daughter and I was your mom." And then she says, "When you were 8, we got really sick and you died. So I decided to die with you because I didn't want to live without you." And then she says, "I'm so happy you're a grown-up and I'm so proud of you." And then she gave me a little peck on the lips, and then she's never spoken about it again. It was just like her soul needed to let it out. Her soul just needed to let me know that she was proud that I had made it into adulthood. And then that was it. I know there's millions of people that have gone through this, but if you're one of them, just stitch this part of the video. Has your child ever spoken to you about their past lives or your past lives together? Hey, that, excuse me, that last story of the daughter mother reversal is pretty crazy and amazing. And I can see how that can make her very emotional. I do believe that that was a true story and that that baby just needed her soul, like her mom said, the soul just needed to express that. Yes, we have been together before, but I was your mother and I am so very proud of you, and never speak of it ever again. Like, she probably just stares at her baby in the nighttime and watch her sleep. I used to always do that with my son. But just to know, like, she was my mother, like, what the heck? But the fact that they are together again in another lifetime is pretty amazing as well. I do have my sage going. I should have been had my sage going in these videos. This one ain't really spooky or anything, but the rest of those little videos been a little crazy. So I will, as long as I remember, I will be having my sage going. So please excuse the smoke, honey. But anyway, yeah, I do believe more when it's the kid that was telling the story in the first video was pretty interesting. She gave really good details of her car accident and how that's how she, she remembers passing away. Um, and the fact that she was so very detailed and was interesting. But the last story I believe, but this one I believe too. But I like to hear the children tell their stories themselves because it makes it a lot more believable. And they can't fake the funk. Kids are honest, and you can tell when they're lying or acting. So I would believe it and love it more to hear it from the child telling the story. But and what's crazy is when the snippet about the child choosing the mother. Every year on my son's solar day, I always thank him like on my social medias for choosing me. And people be thinking I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean he chose you? Like, how did he choose you? You just don't, I don't even waste my time like trying to explain, because it's like you're not gonna get it. If you know, you know, if you don't, you don't. But yes, I appreciate my baby for choosing me, and he is the love of my life. And let's get to the next video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where you remember when you were a baby and
I wasn't even down.
yeah.
Cause I just remember everything.
So, and what was it like?
It was like, we didn't really play up there.
You didn't.
We weren't even alive up there.
So what were you doing?
Just hanging out till we got down here. Till Earth was finally ready for us. That's when we were born.
Did you like it there?
I loved it. I didn't want to come down.
You didn't want to come down?
No. It was beautiful up there.
Really?
Beautiful. Full of beautiful things.
Driving in the car and she says, "Mommy, this is just like where I died." Like real excited, not upset or anything, just kind of very matter of fact. And
at 2 years old?
Yeah, she was about 2 3/4.
So then you say, honey, you didn't die.
I said, well, Leah, what are you talking about? She goes, she says, I was in my car and it fell off the bridge in the water and I died. And so I pulled off the road because I was a little stressed. And she said, and I said, well, where was Mama? And she said, you weren't with me that time. Which
this is what your 2-year-old said.
Yeah, she did. That got the exclamation points going. And I said, well, who was driving the car then? And she said, I was big. I could reach the pedals. And she has no clue that you need pedals to drive a car. She's 2. She's in the car seat. You know, there's like no way she could know that. And I said, well, what happened? And she described, she said, well, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And she is absolutely a fanatic about seatbelts. Everyone in our presence that knows us, she is going to make sure they have a seatbelt on. She will not get in the car without one. And neither will anyone else. And she said, well, I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I fell out of the car. And she said, and she put her hand up on her, and she said, Mommy, I was laying on the rocks. I could feel the rocks on my head. And she said, and see the shiny bridge. And she points up. She's looking up. And she says, see the shiny bridge and the bubbles going up. She could see the bubbles. Now, she has she has never seen television at that point in her life at all. And how would she have any knowledge of bubbles rising? You know, she doesn't swim. She doesn't put her face in the water. And she said, I could see the bubbles going up and see the sun on the bridge.
This kid remembered his past life, and the story is shocking to hear. A 3-year-old boy began to say that he had been murdered in his past life. He said he was killed by getting an axe to the head, and strangely enough, on his head was a long red birthmark. Because of this strange coincidence, his family decided to take him to the village he said he was murdered at. When there, he pointed to the spot he said he was buried at. The family decided to pay for excavators, and when they dug up the ground, they found something shocking. There was the skeleton of a young child with a fractured skull. But it doesn't stop here, because the boy remembered the name of his killer and the address. So the family confronted him about this story, and he actually admitted to the crime.
You're saying that the person that killed you had the devil with him?
No, he got possessed by him.
Really?
And he was watching him.
So is that why he gave you the lollipop that killed you?
Yeah. So, like, for example, he was like, there was poison in it. And it had bugs in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember.
But that was when you died, right? Yeah. That's when you saw that? And then later on, did you see anything good? Like...
No, nothing good, only bad.
So then how did you come back?
I didn't come back.
No, but you're here now, as a girl, right?
Yeah. I don't know how I came back. And I saw God and he said I should be a girl, not a boy.
Really?
Yeah, and then he took me back alive. That was my afterlife.
Yeah?
But that was nice of God to like revive me as a girl. I did not.
You didn't like being a boy?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because I don't like hair, boy hair.
You don't like boy hair?
Yeah.
So when you came back to this life, did you choose your siblings? Like, did you say you want Marley to be your sister?
Yeah.
Yeah? And how did you choose?
I told God that when I died.
Really? How did you see her? You saw her already here?
Yeah.
And then you were like...
I was like...
You want her?
I was like, God, Daddy, can I have a different family? And he said yes. And I pointed out the family Dad was with them, Mom was with them, and Molly and Twisted. I pointed at the family and he said okay. And he said, are you sure? And I said yes.
Really? So do you know why you chose them?
Because I like Daddy, because he was the handsomest and Molly was the cutest.
Really?
She was like 3 years old.
That's so cute.
That's me. And I said, twin.
Oh my
God.
god.
She was actually my twin. She was still my sister.
Exactly. What did God say to you when you died? Do you remember?
He said, don't die, live. Find a brand new family. You'll be happy.
Really? And are you happy now?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're happier now than in your last life?
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm very glad.
That was a great story. That toddler was very well spoken. She gave vivid details. She talked about she didn't like being a boy. I thought that was cute because of her hair, which means she probably is a little pretty girl, which is so sweet. And yeah, but she, like, you can tell that she knew what she was talking about, and she experienced what she was saying. Like, she wasn't delusional, she's not crazy, she's a child who and some people say, oh, she has a great imagination. No, she does, of course she does, but that wasn't imagination. That was actual facts of what she experienced at some point within her soul life. But that was a great story. And then another thing she also spoke about, she chose her family. So clearly something about that is right. But yeah, so the first video, not even the first video, I do wanted to say, I do recall, like, the more I think about it and I'm listening to these stories, I do recall my son being obsessed with, like, the opposite of being alive, and just people, like, just like passing away out of, like, I don't know why, but he was obsessed with that. And I do remember him always talking about he wanted to make sure that I would never, like, be unalived while he was a little kid. And he was like stressed. Like, I do recall him literally being stressed about death, and didn't understand why. So he's too old for me to ask him now. He probably wouldn't even remember, but that's interesting. But anyway, the boy who remembered where he was murdered at, and his skull and body, like, that's crazy. And I wonder if that guy who admitted it, like, I wonder if he can still be charged even though the soul has been reincarnated. The body is still there. They said the skull was there, and a little boy at that. Like, that's crazy. And they said that he had a birthmark on the back of his head. And I don't know if you ever heard it before, but I have heard it several times, that the birthmark is possibly the scar of the death of the past life that you had. So, like, I know people who have birthmarks on their face, on their body parts. And so basically that's supposedly how you got unalived in your previous life. But that's that on that. Next video.
I am telling you, kids are so sensitive. They are so open. They haven't been jaded like us adults have. So listen to your children when they speak about past lives or maybe some weird dynamics between you and other family members. There is probably a lot of truth behind their words. You know, kids are born with a lot of their gifts still open. They're still very connected to the other side, to their true sense of self. So yes, ask them questions and ask if they remember you and what kind of lives you've had before, because I can guarantee this is not your first rodeo together with your children. So have fun with it and just keep the creativity and imagination alive.
Yes. Kids still have their innocence. They still have their gifts. They're still tapped into the other side, to the universe. All chakras are flowing and going. And just believe your children. Definitely. What she was saying was definitely speaking facts. And little Aiden, he even came back to teach his mom about religion, and to, open her eyes on some things. But I think that that's a fascinating story as well. But you have reached the end of this video of amazing kids who remember their past lives. This can be a touchy subject for some people because of religion, but it is what it is. You can't believe it. You don't have to believe it. You maybe you do believe it. That's your opinion. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for spending time with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also share, because what? It's free. It costs you nothing. So help me get into this algorithm, please. Help me get to 500 subscribers. I will be giving a giveaway. Anyone is eligible. Thank you for being here with me. Catch me Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. And I'm out.